Hello everybody, Jerome Wright here, and once again you're joining me on my Jerome Wright YouTube channel here on YouTube. In this video, I'm back again at Mount Rushmore, and through my ongoing paranormal experience and encounter, I have come to realize some very disturbing and troubling facts about the carvings here at Mount Rushmore. I'm going to show you some things of what I know. I don't want to reveal what I know yet, because I'm going to save that for yet another video. But in my search and research of finding evidence to support what I found out about the carvings of Mount Rushmore, I found this banner, which is, I think was hung by a green tree next to President Lincoln here, and it's of President Obama. And it reads, "America honors leaders, not politicians. Stop global warming." And this is supposed to be a message to President Obama, meaning that he stand up and do something about global warming. Now, this is a very profound message, if you must say so, if I say so myself. But let's think about this for a minute. What gives any group right, or what gives a group the sort of power that they can go and make a message board out of something that is symbolic to America, with 4 presidential heads, and for them to hang this banner here? Now, these are supposed to be, I guess, non-profit organizations. Okay, under what authority do a group get that they can go and hang a banner on 4 presidential heads, where one president, this president, was tragically killed, assassinated? And what gives this group right to hang this banner there? Think about it. Think about the power behind that for a minute. Okay? Now, I'm going to translate this message to you, and it's going to be shocking as to what is actually, what the translation of this means, this banner. American honors leaders, not politicians. Stop global warming. Do you know what this message actually says? This message actually says America honors leaders, not politicians. You know what this says? America honors leaders. You know what it's saying? President Obama's face is there, black. Okay? Not nigger politicians. The global warming message down at the bottom is just a ruse, a throw off. These people that hung this banner here are stating that America honors leaders, not nigger politicians or nigger lovers. And that's why the face is hung right here next to Abraham Lincoln, who stood up for that of having slavery abolished. And he actually, everybody knows that President Lincoln was almost like a black president, pretty much. That's what this message is all about. And that's what this is symbolizing. America honors leaders, not nigger politicians. And that's the reason why President Obama's black face is on there. Now, what I'm going to show you going to be next is going to start making you angry and very disturbed. Okay? Now, I'm only going to do this in a piece video, because I don't want to give you everything here in this one video. Now, you know that picture of how the banner is shot out of a pistol? Let me show you something. Do we have, oh, okay, here. Let me, right there. You see that? You know how the banner is shot, can be shot out of a pistol. There's a pistol and you go bang like clowns have in a circus. There's the handle of the gun, and when you pull the trigger, a banner comes out and goes bang. You know, ironically, in this same commercial, I don't know if we're over far enough. What's amazing is that also with this cartoon thing here going on with this banner and this banner, that this is a Derringer pistol. You see the trigger being pulled and that's saying bang. It's amazing that these things are given to our kids, because you see this Derringer here in there. You know what that's in? It's the packaging represents an evidence bag collection, meaning that it was in a crime. President Lincoln was shot with the Derringer pistol. Now, I'm going to take you here and show you something, because this is going to become very disturbing, people. So we have a toy replica of a Derringer shooting out a banner, bang, and the packaging that you can go and pick it up in a store and buy it with is in an evidence bag. Our president was shot with this pistol. This is an 18th century weapon, Derringer. Our president was shot with this, and it's in an evidence collection bag, symbolizing, this is the symbolic message behind this, that this was evidence. This was taken into evidence. It was used in a crime, in the commission of a crime. Now hold on, I'm going to go back again, because these messages, these underlining symbolic messages, or should I say subliminal messages, is what is actually being described here. So what do this have to do with President Obama's the banner of his face being hung right here? This is a banner. Well, the gun that shot Abraham Lincoln is the same message, and his assassination is what is being described in this banner about the possible future assassination of President Obama. Oh, this is it. Yeah, you don't think that I can go there with this? Well, people, the man that carved these carvings put a symbolic message in there, and there are a select few of people that knows this about these messages and what is going on. Look here in Abraham's Lincoln head. There is the butt of the Derringer, of that ancient Derringer. Here is the trigger area of the Derringer, and here is the barrel of the Derringer, right there. You see that person standing there on top of the gun, right there on the gun's barrel? They are talking about the assassination. This message is about the assassination of Lincoln because of what he did for the slaves, the freeing of the slaves, and his feelings towards black folks. And this is symbolizing the same is about to happen to President Obama. This is a pistol, a Derringer pistol, the shaped of a Derringer carved into the head of President Lincoln. And this is why I can do this. It's the same message. That Derringer that is carved into the hair, encoded into the hair of President Lincoln. That banner hanging off the side of Lincoln's face, the bang, is the same message that I am discussing here. Now, if you don't believe that, watch this. I'm going to show you some more. Check this out. There's the banner. There's that. Also, people, the man that made these carvings, he was the most powerful Ku Klux Klan member in all of history. He was the one that actually assigned grand wizards or swore in grand wizards to their positions, to their different areas across the globe. The man that calls for these carvings, and I'm going to do another video on this, it's going to get better. So we have a person that hated black people and so-called nigger lovers, calls for the creation of these carvings. He made these carvings. And this is why I can do this. Now, let's keep going, because what do green tree has to do with this? Well, we'll talk about that and discuss that later. But I'm telling you that this is a gun that's encoded into Abraham Lincoln's head. It's the very Derringer that calls for his death, the bullet or the slug that went into the back of his head. Now, I'm going to go into more, but this is a gun. We all know that I showed you that the gun shoots out a banner. Here's the banner of President Obama. I read the message to you, and I read it in the other one. It says, American honors leaders, not politicians. Stop World War. This doesn't make sense. But what makes sense is American honors leaders, not nigger politicians. And that's what that means. Or nigger lovers, in this case, because of President Lincoln. It's telling us that President Obama is getting the same thing that Lincoln got. And that's why the gun is shown that the banner is at the precise location at the end of the gun barrel that I'm showing you, which is right here. There's the butt. There's the trigger area, and here's the barrel, and this is the banner being shot out. Bang. And here's the message. That's being stated. You're getting it, Obama. This is what this is saying right there. There's the gun, there's the bang, and there's an evidence bag in a cartoon. It's amazing how this message all now suddenly makes sense. Now I'm going to keep going. Here's another black politician. I don't know if this is the Clarence, Judge Clarence, that I don't know if this is the Clarence Thomas, the Supreme Justice, it looks like, and it says that ass there. Another black politician put up top there, that ass, and it shows his head being hung here with the other heads, and then there's again the gun right there, the barrel of the Derringer that killed Lincoln. Now I'm gonna make another video. This is just a second video. Now hold on, because it gets better. Check this out, and I'm gonna keep going. Here's a head over here. This is George Bush that they have over here. These politicians that have an affiliations with blacks are affected a certain way, or they seem to be in office and leaning towards the support of blacks or dealing anything with blacks, is contrary to everything that this here stands for. You know why? Because this whole carving, which was created by a white supremacist and his white supremacist family, the Ku Klux Klan, this message is stating that they hate these people because of their contribution to the blacks in America, the abolishment of slavery. Each one of these presidents, from George Washington to Thomas Jefferson to Theodore Roosevelt to Abraham Lincoln, can all be associated with what they did for the cause of black people. These two, the last two, Lincoln and Roosevelt, voted or was against slavery. They hated it. They believed that all men should be equal. Thomas Jefferson, although he believed in white supremacy over blacks, his big mistake was that he brought in Booker T to the White House, the famous black man that was for the causes of people, and I'm going to do another video on that. He invited him into the White House in the 1990s at a time where segregation was at its all-time high, and people in the South did not believe that it was appropriate for whites to be seen in public with blacks. Thomas Jefferson broke that cardinal rule by inviting Booker T into the White House, and not only did ask him of his views on social views, but he also sat him down in the White House to eat. Washington spent most of his time in his presidency with his black slave. He spent more time with that man than any other man. Washington also put in his will when he died that his slaves be freed when his wife Martha died. However, his wife Martha released the slaves 1 year later, freed the slaves. Each one of these men that are up here have something to do with their heads up here, being hung up here, as this is being described as their heads were as targets, marks for what they did against the causes of the Ku Klux Klan. And that's what this is all about. This memorial was created by the Ku Klux Klan. Now I'm going to save that for the next video. George's Bush head is up there. These people, now hold on, let me keep going, because there is, check this out. Here is President Obama, here, again, next to Lincoln, and look what he has on the top of his head. A dot. They're not calling him a dot head. They're not calling him an Indian, a dot head. You know what they're calling him? A dead man. Because this is a bullet mark. The bullet mark that is the same bullet Abraham Lincoln got his in the back of the head. Here's the gun, the Derringer, again people. The reason why this image keeps going up next to Abraham Lincoln is because they're stating that he's a marked man. He's going to be assassinated in the way that Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, with a bullet to the head. Here's the gun in Abraham Lincoln's head. Right there, his hair is the Derringer that calls for his death. And there's more, people. I'm going to bring another video. And this is the reason why you can find these pictures online with President Obama next to Lincoln. He's marked for death. Any head that you find up here like this, the sources that put them up there, if you were to trace it back, Secret Service or anybody else that's looking into it, there's a root of what, there's a science, there's a method to this madness on why these images appear up here and where they appear at. Look at this. Now, the reason why George's Bush appeared over here next to, let's read into the message, next to Washington. You see George's Bush's head there next to Washington? The person that put this up here is symbolizing that just like Washington kept a nigger at his side throughout his term in presidency, they're stating that that's what George Bush did by keeping Condoleezza Rice at his side. The same exact thing. Now, there's more to support this. This is not just it, because each one of these carvings has something with it. The gun is here. Roosevelt has something with him. Jefferson has something with him, and Washington has something with him. The Ku Klux Klans, when they made these carvings, they put a monumentum, a trophy with each one of these heads, and I've found out what they are. Here, the gun. I'm going to tell you more in another video, but people, what they are describing is that here, when you see President Obama up here, now this Green Tree Foundation or Green Tree Foundation or whatever, look, there's that, look, a Derringer again. The Derringer with the banner shot out. This is a Derringer. Now guess what this Derringer has on the handle? Google gun with a banner coming out, or banner and a gun, or gun shooting out a banner. This is a black gun. A black gun with a black Derringer. And on the Derringer, on the handle, you can't see it from here. There's a skull. There's a skull there. A skull and bones. In fact, a cross, a skull and bones, and they're crossed just like the skull and bone symbols. That's what that is right there. And it has a skull on there with the cross, with the bones crossed, just like the skull and bones. Exactly the same exact way. That's what's there on this handle, on this toy replica of this gun shooting out the banner. The same exact thing. So the message behind all of this, or should I say, what is being, hold on, can I go any more this way? No, okay. What is being described is a hidden knowledge about the true carvings, the underlying message, the subliminal message of these carvings is being now reflected and targeted at presidents of today. Something that occurred in the past is reflected on individuals and characters today. That's what I'm pretty much stating there. Now, it's for me to go and say these type of things, believe me when I tell you, I wouldn't just be jumping to conclusion on none of this stuff here. I'm going to be able to back a lot of it up. And where we at here? And I'm not gonna put more in this video about this. I'm gonna let this video be about the Ku Klux Klan causing for the creation of Mount Rushmore. This being a gun, the same gun that killed Lincoln is the same gun that's being described in a subliminal message talking about President Obama is marked for death. That's why they have a bullet hole there. The message is quite clear already, because we know that Lincoln was assassinated. We know that he was assassinated with the Derringer pistol. The Derringer pistol, the Ku Klux Klan cleverly encoded right there in his hair. And the gun is now pointed at President Obama, whoever placed this picture up here has a hole in his head, or a dot on his head, symbolizing that he will die with a bullet to the head, just as the same way that Lincoln did. Except that the carvers took it a step further and have the gun there, and people don't know it. Now, again, that's one message. And now we go to let's go back to that banner hung, because that banner does not have no business on, and the Secret Service can go and investigate this now that I said this, and they will find, I guarantee you, if the Secret Service investigated this, they will find that this message, everything that I just stated about this message, means exactly that. Because first of all, that banner has no business on an iconic monument in the first place. It doesn't have nothing to do with global warming. The global warming is the message that throws you off. Okay, again, I'm going to read this to you. We know that Lincoln was assassinated. We know that Lincoln was assassinated with a Derringer gun. Here's the Derringer pistol right here that the Ku Klux Klan member that carved these monuments, and you can check it out, verify, people. I don't have his name here. In fact, hold on. Whatever his name was, the guy that carved these. Hold on. Let me get his name out, because I was going to save this for another video. But the guy that carved these monuments, what's his name? The sculptor name is Gutzon-Bergulum. Okay, Gutzon-Bergulum. That's the man that he is the person was in charge. He was the head honcho of the Ku Klux Klan globally. He's in charge of those that were assigned into becoming grand wizards and everything. Okay, so the man that made these carvings were in charge of the Ku Klux Klan globally. Period. Okay, so you should know that if this man hates black people, he was against everything for slavery. He was against everything that each one of these men up here stood for and what they done in their presidency. So you should understand that his message that he carved into his hate for what they stood for would be reflected in the carvings. So this should not be a surprise. All right, so let's get past that. The Derringer that killed Lincoln is, again, right here. Here is the butt of the Derringer. Here is the trigger area of the Derringer, and here is the barrel of the Derringer. And if you look in there closely, you could even see identifiers of the Derringer, the mechanisms that triggers the gun. Okay, so just look here. Then here is the gun barrel here. We all know and can relate to banners being shot out of a gun. So here we have where there is a banner right in the identical place where it should be in comparison to the gun of the banner coming out of. The message, the president here was assassinated with a gunshot to the head. They have President Obama's face smashed up against Lincoln's. And then the message that this reads does not make no sense like this. America honors leaders, not politicians. Stop global warming. Now, I'm going to twist this message. America honors leaders, not nigger politicians. And this is why President Obama's blackface is up next to a president that abolished slavery and what else? I lost my train of thought. That abolished slavery and was assassinated for doing such and for his actions in the supporting efforts of black people. This has nothing to do with the global warming down here in the black. That's why the red is right there by his mouth, showing you a sign of blood, killing. I'm going to leave that there. Let the Secret Service handle that. I guarantee you. Now, I believe that this was hung here by Green Tree. I guarantee you, if the United States Secret Service goes and investigate into this, how this flag or this banner was able to, this is a message. Of course, this is a non-profit organization, but people, this is an iconic place or location. This message should not be hung there. There had to be some type of power pull stringing. I mean, pulling of power strings here, or some power pull to get this message up here next to these presidential heads. You got all of these presidential heads, and then has a head of a black president hung up here next to a president that was assassinated. And now I'm showing you that there's a gun that goes to the banner, showing you that the gun that was fired out of the banner, the bullet that was fired, look, well, not the bullet, the banner fired, is showing you that the same method, the same message that was given to Lincoln, which was his assassination, is now targeted for President Obama. That's what this is stating. This is what this is. There's no other way to look at it. Once the Secret Service starts realizing that the gun, if you Google, because it's an artifact now, the gun that killed President Lincoln is an artifact. It's an artifact. If you Google artifact that killed President Lincoln, you get the gun when it comes up. The identical gun, that Derringer, is the same that is shaped in his hair right here. The trigger area, the handle, the butt of the gun, and the barrel. You can draw a Derringer right there perfectly in the man's hair. Identically. And take all of that, and then you have this picture. A Derringer shooting out a banner. It's in an evidence bag. Weapon that committed a crime, the same way people pick up evidence. This is the way you could pick up this in the store. So the message that is there is also, I'm saying that it's the same message that is here. The same exact message, except for not being with president, is stating something else, that weapon was used to set America straight. And it's somebody's sick way of making money off of something that happened tragically in the past. That's what this is all about, people. Look. Here we are again. The Derringer and the banner that was shot out. The message that was given to Lincoln, the way the Ku Klux Klan put it up here in this symbolic message, the Derringer that killed there. And you got to see my other video. This is not just it. I'm holding back some from my other video. You got to see my other video because there's more across here. And more on the other side. So you got to see my other video. This is just about this talk about this assassination of President Obama. It's telling you that what the medicine that they gave, that they issued to Lincoln, is what they're giving to Obama. Look at that. Now this message was twisted around. You have to read between the lines. There's President Obama's black face. There's his black face there. American honors leaders, not nigger politicians. That's what this is saying. That's why, or should I say black politicians, because that's the reason why his black face is inside of there. They made sure they had his face and they have the blood. This right, not politicians, all through here. And then it says stop global warming. This global warming thing in the black down here, this is not the message. This is not about global warming. This is about a black president. And this is about the roots of the way they feel, these people feel about blackness or black period. These people that created this monument and these people that are there today silently behind the scenes do not like a free black America. They're telling us that as far as they're concerned, that Obama can get the bullet to the head like Lincoln did. I'm going to end this video there, and I'm going to create another video. Look for my other video. It's going to be just as amazing as this one is, because I'm going to describe a whole lot more.